Hey, we're going to do the entire face. I'm going to try my best to speed through it. I am excited because at the end, I received friend mail today, and they notified me today that, well, no, we'll get to the story. We'll talk about it while we're doing the look. But this is the box, and I did open it, and I am like, oh my gosh. And so instead of doing something different, because y'all know my filming schedule and lives is just like, girl, what's happening? And I did already have planned to do a look with Love of My Life, Composed Cools, and this is going to be for the Monochromatic Meh Months collab. This 2-week period, the color options were black, gray, and I think white. So we're going to do black. And so I'm looking at this. I want to say this is black, but it's probably silver. Ugh, so that doesn't count. But definitely these two. So it's just going to be a basic smoky dark look. This one to me looks more gray than this one. This one to me does border black. But yeah, let's just get to it. So I'm going to try and rush through doing the face because I want to get to showing y'all what's in this box. Oh my gosh. I was just like, what? Yeah, I did not know. If I remember, I'll put timestamps below. I'm not sure if they matter altogether because most people skip through the videos anyway. Tilt this a little bit. So let me just okay, intro. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. As you can tell, I am, well, if you've been here before, you can tell that I am like super excited because I'm just talking about stuff all over everywhere and just, oh shoot. I'm looking for this. It's right here, y'all. Excuse me for that glare. I'm excited. I am excited. I did intend to use this entire palette. Well, most of the shades in the palette. But then I had for later in the week to do the collab look. And then when I looked at the colors, I'm like, okay, well, we're using Composed Cools, which is, a dark palette. It has some blacks in there. So I said, you know what? We will just turn that into the video. So that'll knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. I finished watching last night's live. It usually takes me, it's the one we did what was it? The yellow look for this same collab that we're doing this time, because she does give 2 or 3 different colors to choose from. And I started watching it last night or early this morning, and I fell asleep on it. So I finished it today. Yo, when I got to the part where, wasn't I supposed to be doing the intro? When I got to the part where the person came in and said buy my food, and I was just like, Yo, I be making myself laugh because I say things, I do things, and then I forget. So then when I watch it back, I be cracking up as if I'm watching somebody else, do and say whatever I'm doing and saying. But that was just like, first of all, like, where are you? Like, we don't know you to buy your food. Like, bubble guts ain't cute, and it don't feel good either. But yeah, but you know what? I appreciate that more so than some of like the other like comments we get, because sometimes we do get randos who do comment like really inappropriate stuff. Like that was just like, no, we're not buying your food. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean? And so I do prefer that kind of not so good troll versus the other kind, because we do once in a while get some stuff. And shout out to Janet. She's one of my moderators. She be on it. She be on it. And sometimes I feel bad. Almost, no, it's not an almost. Sometimes I do, because if she's out and about, or she'll be like, oh, I'm out at a restaurant, she still be moderating. And I'm like, how's she doing that? And then I'd be like, I want her to enjoy whatever it is that she's doing. You know what I mean? But she be on it regardless. But I do be kind of like, just enjoy your time. Like in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. She said she was such and such a place. Like, why is she like still like actually actively moderating. You know what I mean? And I do appreciate it. I really do. I will tell y'all this, y'all. The official Trollkin, which is what I call my channel members, y'all, they be on it. They be on it, and I do appreciate it. And just the regular trolls in the Crazy Troll Nation, y'all be on it too, because y'all be here for the madness when stuff be like, excuse me? So, and of course, I appreciate that too. And I'm hoping some more people will join the membership, because we just be having fun, and I just be like, man, it's just a special time. And, you know, we do stuff that, well, of course, different than like a regular video, but it's just, it feels very homey, where it's like we just sit around, you know, whatever I'm doing, and then we're chatting, and I just really appreciate that. Like a place where, and yes, the Crazy Troll Nation is a safe space for everyone, but just to have that additional outlet, you know what I mean? Just to have that additional space where it can just be us and we just sitting around chilling. Because y'all know how it is, right? When you're at a family function or you go somewhere and, you know, y'all sitting around chilling, and then like this one person walks up and then the conversation changes. So it's like something like that, where we're still who we are, but it's a different vibe, because some stuff is just us, you know what I mean? And so I do hope that more people will join. The membership is $2.99 per month. You can cancel at any time. You may pay taxes or fees depending on your payment method. And I forget what the other thing was, because there was one person in particular here in the United States that theirs renewed for $3.99. And so I was curious about their payment method, because someone had said that like Apple Pay or something, like they do take, you know, well, not take, but charge some money. I do have some official Trollkin in other countries, and so their cost is different as well. We're going to just use this volume 2 hourglass palette, and we're going to take gold and bronze light. And I did this before, and this was just like super quick, super easy. They're not there, so we're using it as a blush and as a bronzer. So we're just turning it, swiping it, and so this is going to be just really simple, really quick. And I think that video I did before, when I did what I'm doing now, it was just a really quick process, and a they're not there type of thing. And it does have sheen to it, so I shouldn't be putting it down here, but y'all know we do what we want to do. Speaking of which, let's do the intro. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion, and I call this the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. The crazy is just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much. Then we're going to take radiant light. The troll part is, I had to think of what it was. So we're using this more so as a blush. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain tool or a certain brand or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here we believe in, now we're going to take soft light, this one here, same brush for all of it, and we're swiping and turning. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. So that's what the Crazy Troll Nation is. That's what our motto is. That's what we stand by. That's what we live by. And I do hope that it resonates with you. We're going to... I'm hoping this could pass for black. Every single black liner I've used for inner rims has irritated my eyes, and I think it's just something with the color pigment that they use for that. This is the closest I can get to it, is this dark brown, and I do have some matte brown ones. This is NYX Vivid Rich Mechanical Liner, and it is called Smoke and Topaz, but this seems to show up more dark than the MAC ones. Of course, we're going to do a MAC lip. I may or may not put this on top of it, because even though it's purple over black lip, it does show more black. We are going to use Black Mirror for our brows, and maybe graphic liner. I'm not sure. And we are going to line the lips just because, and this is also MAC. Now I know there's a thing now about the e-files and, you know, the Lauder dude and MAC being one of their brands. Like, I know. So just know that I know. And I'm in the camp of, I can't even say that. I was going to say, I'm in the camp of, if you have something from a brand that's controversial or something happens, just still use what you have and don't buy anything else. But that, y'all, I don't know. I don't know. And I know it's principle. And so what's causing me to hesitate is I have a lot of MAC stuff in my kit. I also have a lot of Makeup Forever stuff in my kit as far as their contour palettes, blush palettes, full face palettes. And so now that I'm thinking about it, I could, once I need to replenish those products, just use the Makeup Forever and not use the MAC and not repurchase the MAC. I can tell y'all right now, I am not getting rid of my MAC 2024 Pride palette. And so that's part of the, you know, use what you have and just don't repurchase. And it was limited edition. It's not available anymore. And I do have BYOPs and most of those shadows, not all of them. I'll say half of, I have 3 15-pan BYOPs from MAC. At least half of those shadows I got from the CCO, Company Cosmetic Outlet. Everything in that store is Estee Lauder brand. Every single thing. Or where you live, it may be called CCS. I did say that. CCS, Company Cosmetic Store. CCO is the one here in Delaware, which is Company Cosmetic Outlet. But it's the same exact thing. Everything in there is Estee Lauder brand. And I forget sometimes, I haven't been to one in a while, but I forget sometimes what other brands are under that house, because it's like Clinique, Tarte, you know, I'm just like, what? Because I do forget. And so a lot of times we may not know or not be aware, even though the information is public, we don't look up, you know, who makes this brand or what's the parent company. But there's a lot of brands that is not just that brand. And some of the luxury brands also have a drugstore equivalent. Well, I'm not going to say equivalent because my skin does not like the majority of drugstore stuff I've tried. So the formulation is definitely different. And when people swear something is a dupe, it is never a dupe for me. My skin tells the tale, like they lying. This ain't a dupe. But it's let me know what your thoughts are about that topic, because I've never, and I don't wear a lot of different stuff, a lot of different brands, because I do have sensitive skin. So in a way, I feel like I'm at like a disadvantage, but an advantage, because I'm able to just dismiss a lot of stuff because I know my skin is not going to tolerate it. And so stuff comes out, I dismiss it. I don't, you know, think about it. I don't be like, oh, and it does kind of take a lot to get my attention. It has to really be like my color story, like the Cryptic palette, the 669 palette, the Yucca palette. I am waiting for her to come out with a Midi Gloom palette. Because that, I didn't buy the Quint because I realized I really wasn't using the Quints from her that I had. And even putting new ones that I had purchased in my kit a while ago, I haven't used those either. So it's just like, okay, I'm not going to buy that Quint because I don't use the Quints that I have. But I do think it'll call to me, unless it's like completely, totally cool toned. I do like myself in cool tone looks if it leans neutral, but just like flat, cool tones, they usually look ashy on me, to me, because I do prefer dark. And so also regarding cool tones that lean neutral, or at least on my skin, lean neutral, I do prefer still the darker tones. And as far as the Mini Gloom, I love murky, I love swamp water, I love grungy, you know what I mean? And so it's been a minute since that Quint came out, and so I do think is in the works, because sometimes it does take her a while to roll around to a midi from a mini, you know what I'm saying? And so, but you know, I have time, and I'm gonna know about ISO. And her stuff seldom is limited edition. You know what I mean? So, like, there's no rush at all. And so that's why I am with that. But let me know if you're just like, because under the comments, there was someone who posted on Instagram, and I seldom even listen to the stories or, you know, the reels, whatever it was. But she was saying, okay, this is what the situation is. This is this and that. But she was talking about Peter Thomas Roth. The only thing I have from him that I use religiously is his vitamin C serum, and so I may not repurchase that, and it's $105. But every other vitamin C serum I've tried, my skin had, my eyelids did not like it, my face did not like it, and so I'm just like and when I first started using it, I noticed the difference when I stopped using it. So it really was doing something for my skin. But people were like, well, I'm throwing away all of this. But let me get back to what she was saying. I know I'm all over the place. I'm excited to get to that box. I'm excited to get to that box. We're going to put this all over the lid. It is a cream to powder. It's not cream to powder, because this is not a Natasha formulation. But to me, it's the equivalent of, I didn't spray my face with the Scandinavia spray. It would be that equivalent, because it is a creamy formula. I already primed my lids. Usually I spray it before I prime my lids, and I usually don't spray my face like this. I usually go, and so yeah, it is on my lip oil as well. So she was saying, okay, if you have this is a dupe from such and such brand that I really like. And so I appreciated that for what she was saying. Don't repurchase from him, or don't buy from him if you like it. Here's an alternative. And like I just said, dupes for me are never dupes, but I only use his potency serum, vitamin C serum. And so I like that she gave alternatives. But in the comments, and this is what made me think of MAC again, and listing all the MAC stuff we're going to be using in this look. This is shade number 5. So some comments were like, well, all of my skincare is going in the trash. And I'm thinking, you already have it though. Like, you already gave your money to the brand, so why throw it away? But what is your take on that? Like, even with me having a lot of MAC stuff, like if you have a lot of MAC stuff, would you throw it away? If you have a lot of Peter Thomas Roth stuff, would you throw it away? And it is a different situation, because the Peter stuff is with the E stuff, and the MAC stuff, Estee Lauder, that's with the administration wanting to take over Greenland. So it's two different situations, but the thing that's the same is that people are like, okay, scrap it, you know, cancel them, you know, that type of thing. So the result is still the same. But like, where are you with that? Like, would you just continue to use what you have from that brand and not repurchase? Or would you just throw it away? You know what I mean? Because even with other like problematic people like JS, okay, they're like, I still use what I have, I just don't talk about it on my channel. So which are you? Would you use it and not talk about it? Not mention it? Would you throw away what you have, or use what you have and just don't repurchase? And so that's nice how it, oh, that's nice how they blend it out. I do like this formula. This is Hourglass number 3 brush, and I chose this over my usual V27. And even the V27 that I use for inner corner shade is because we're doing a wide area. These are good for just little areas because they're narrow, and you see how wide this is. So like, where are you with that? And I honestly don't know where I am with that. And honestly, I don't think about it too much. But when they first were like, oh, Lauder and the administration, he's the one that, spoke to 47 about taking Greenland. And we know whoever has his ear last, that's what he's going to do. Because his attention span is short. But anyway, I was like, the hell, I'm going to stop using Mac. But then as I think about it, it's like, as I'm saying, I already purchased it. I already have it. I'm not going to throw away good product. And then I was also thinking like, okay, if I have a client or if I'm at an event, because I work doing makeup at events. If there's someone that's like F Mac, and they come to my table and I have a lot of Mac stuff, they might be like, girl, bye. You know what I'm saying? And so I was kind of wondering about that too. And that's what had me wondering like, okay, what do y'all say? Like, where are y'all at with, cancel culture? And somebody else had commented, which I was like, yeah, that's going to be it. They were like, so basically just buy from indie women-owned brands. Women-owned brands. And so when you think about it, like so many brands have so many problems. And when you have a conglomerate like Estee Lauder and all the brands that's under it, like you really need to look on the packaging to see, okay, who exactly made this? Like what company did this come from? And because they own so much, even like drugstore stuff, like, can you really get away from it? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the brand is. I hope that they believe me when I say this is black, because this is blending out. That's this shade. It is a black. It is a black. I love this shape, and I'm hoping I can get the other side the same. And so the way this blended out up here, I'm like, do I even want to put a matte black up there? And I'm kind of thinking no. And this would be a simplistic look unless I do something graphic on the face. Because y'all know, even with that yellow look, I'm like, I don't want to just do just a plain yellow eyeshadow look. You know what I mean? And so, but we can be simple for a day. You know what I'm saying? Even though y'all know I do be wanting to do more. But I'm feeling like this is just going to be it. Because in my mind, it was just do a look with this palette. And so when I switched it to, okay, it's going to be for the collab, like my mindset is still just do a look with the palette. I didn't have any like, oh, what are we going to do? Like when we did that yellow look in the live stream, I didn't have a plan. I didn't even know like which mediums I was going to use. I had out the water activated paints. I had out the oil-based paints. I had out the cream paint, the cream makeup. And I was just like, I don't know what we're doing. And so when we used all of them, and we used the Inglot gel eyeliner, the yellow one. And so, yeah, so this wasn't planned for the collab. But here we are. Since it was going to be a dark look anyway, I'm like, this is the color story. So we're just gonna do it. So let me know where y'all are with that mindset, because some people really, it was a lot of comments. Well, I'm gonna throw away all my skincare, and I'm just like, but they already have your money. Like, you're not. I just don't like wasting. Excuse me. I just don't like wasting, and it's like you already have it, so why throw it away? Unless you have this visceral reaction where you're just so disgusted, which I can understand, because of the files, and it is, and that's what made that that hearing so even more so disgraceful, because you're just discrediting and not even acknowledging the survivors. It's like, where the fuck did you even come from? I forgot to tell y'all 2 things about me that I say at the end of my intro. Sometimes I curse because I curse. And the other thing is there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that likes to randomly hiccup, gurgle, and belch. And so I do apologize if you were like, ooh, what'd she say? So that's my bad that I didn't say that. This is rounded. This is rounded. We're going to leave it like that. But it's just like she did not even acknowledge them. And, she was told, they're standing up behind you. Like, will you even look at them? She did not even look at them. And so I understand if some people have like the visceral reaction, like, nah, fuck that. I'm not even using this cream anymore. This side is more faded in here and it's a little lower. So we're going to put some more color over here. And so I do understand it. I do understand it. And honestly, it's only certain channels that I'll watch. And they do need to be like shorter videos, because when this administration started, I was watching a lot of news, and I realized I was angry almost all the time. And I realized, like, I can't be on 100 all the time. And so I realized, okay, you need to just watch less news and be more selective of what news I do watch. And it has helped me a lot. It has helped me a lot. I like that. I like how this has a sheen. Are the shapes the same? I don't think so, because this is up here. Well, this looks higher up to me for some reason than over here. I think this side is more rounded. I think that's what it is, like right here in this area. Do I want to buff this out with that that black matte shade? I think that looks, yeah, it's like something right here that's looking straight and not rounded. And I don't want to do too much, because I don't want to end up having this all the way up there. But then that could be it if we are going to do a graphic look. So let me just do this and try and just round it out. Oh, that worked. The color doesn't look consistent though, but that's okay. We can blame it on the lighting, because sometimes stuff does look different in different types of lighting. Yeah. Are they in the same place? So I don't know where I'm at with that. I know I don't like the waist though. So it's like, and I think I have 4 vitamin C serums left. I tell you, y'all, I have not found one I like. Most of my bedtime skincare is Drunk Elephant. I do not like their vitamin C serum. I tried Dennis's vitamin C serum eons ago, maybe like in 2019. Y'all, it smelled rank. I was like, no. And I have not tried it since. If I received it, and it was really sticky, if I recall correctly. If it was like a gift with purchase, I would try it. Murad, I'm not crazy about their vitamin C serum, and so that's why it's just been Peter's. And I purchased a lot of backups during a sale, because them things are expensive. They were in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and I purchased enough for years, and I'm still using those. And yes, they're still good. But I have changed to using them twice a day, which it says, instead of once a day, because initially I'm like, shit. Because I was using it twice a day, and I was using it up in like 4 months. And at that time, it was $98. Now it's $105. So I switched to using it once a day, and my skin was just as happy. So I was doing that. And then one of my official troll kin was like, well, you do know, skincare still does go bad. And I was like, shit. So I opened up a new one, and it was still good. And so I used the one that was already open as my wake up skincare routine. And I was using the new one I had open for nighttime. And so once I use one up, I have only one open now. And I'm looking at the shapes and the color consistency. And I started using it twice a day. And so I'm going to have to go on a hunt, I guess. But then it's like, if I'm going to do that, then drop MAC too. Like, don't replenish any MAC. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where do you stop? Because a lot of brands are controversial. So it's like, where do you stop? Like, if I'm going to start that, where am I going to stop? You know what I'm saying? And also, even brands, I'll say like mid-tier brands, or some indie brands. Well, not really. Not indie, but not quite in a conglomerate either. I'm not going to use this brush to blend that with anything, because I do like how that looks. So we're going to put that away. We're going to take that same color and we're going to put it on our lower lash line. So we don't know everything about every brand owner. And so even saying, and let me know what y'all think about this too. So even someone saying, okay, so it's looking like we're just going to have to buy from indie women-owned brands. Excuse me, Maxwell was a woman. There were people who do. There were women who knew. And so, like, I'm saying, like, where do we stop? And whatever brands we're buying from, sometimes there's investors. We don't know who they are, which means we don't know what their names are, which means we don't know if their name is in any file or if they got into 47's ear and talked to him, told him something, nonsensical, and he decided to try to execute it. Like, we don't know. We don't know who every owner is from every makeup brand. So we hear about, we hear a name and we're like, oh, I know that name. Oh, shoot, I use that brand. But do we know everybody? Like every brand, their owner? Some we do if they're vocal, and I'm not going to name names, but we know, like certain brands, it's like, okay, no. But like, where do we stop? And I'm not saying this to say, support or don't support, because do whatever you're comfortable doing. But I've just been thinking about this today, like where do we stop? If we start that, where do we stop? If we start cancel culture, where do we stop? And I'm really not for cancel culture, because it comes down to whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever, you can comfortably, sleep at night with, or in the daytime for people nocturnal like me. Like, I'm not, the cancel police, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I just have questions, as you can tell. So if you have an answer, like, I would love to hear your thoughts. Do I want to... I was going to say, do I want to bring that down some? Because I do have this brush here, but this is a creamy formula, though, so I don't know. And I do like it. It kind of looks like I have a mask on. I do like it. And I like how that color blended out, and right here looks lighter than over here. I don't want to spend too much more time on it because it might just be the lighting. Because you see how it looks like there's a sheen to it. But looking in here, well, now that I dug my brush in it, like, yeah, there's a sheen to it. But it looks like it's a matte shade. I'm going to just leave it. Do I want to kind of blow this out? So we're going to take this brush, which is very loose. And so I don't even know if this is going to work. And I feel this shadow crumbling and falling on my face. And it's one of those situations where even though it's a creamy shade, like even looking at it, like it does ball up a little bit. If you look at it, you see what I'm saying? This is not a good option for like right here because that's looking thicker. This is nice though. So yeah. So this box, this person texted me and they were like, I did a thing. And I'm like, and I thought I knew what it was. And they were like, you don't know what it is, trust me. And I did not. I was just like, okay, wait, what? Like, no, you didn't. And it was something that I had mentioned in one of my videos or live streams or something. And then I had forgot about it because y'all know I say stuff and then I just keep it moving. And doing 3 lives a week, I talk about a whole lot of stuff. I say a whole lot of things. And I was like, don't let me find out you sneaky, like sneaky ass Janessa. Y'all, yeah, they sneaky too. I was just like, so the box came today and I saw where it was from. And I was like, oh, no, you didn't. No, yeah, they did. This is tearing upward. I could feel it. Damn it. And because it's a dark shade, if it starts to pull shadow off, it's going to be noticeable. But you know what? Let's just fix it at the end. Because we still have to put, no, we don't have to, but I am going to put a black eyeliner on. So actually, let's do that right now. No, yeah. Yeah, let's go and do that. And then we're going to put some of this in the brows. This is a black mirror. So, yeah, just let me know your thoughts on that. Like, are you the use what you have and don't repurchase? Or just throw it all away? Or still keep using and repurchasing and just don't talk about it if you're a content creator? You know what I mean? But I really did think about, like, what if I have somebody come past my table? That ain't even showing up, y'all. that black on that black eyeshadow, I was gonna say eyeliner, it will not be denied. That is a nice black. I'm like, if somebody walk past my table and they're for cancel culture, they might be like, I was going to ask you to do my makeup, but I don't support that brand, so no. You know what I mean? And then people who don't really wear makeup, they don't really know anyway. They don't keep up. And honestly, I forgot about the Lorah thing until I saw that thing on Instagram. And that's where I first had seen it. The first thing I saw was Peter's statement that he wrote saying that, you know, E was his physics teacher and, you know, through the years they kept in touch and, you know, he never saw anything appropriate. And at first he didn't believe it. But then as more survivors started speaking up, you know, he was just, I forget what word he used. But he believes it. And so I was like, oh. But then in the files, you know, he had, they said he went over, like he would go there and do classes teaching the girls how to use his skincare products. And I was like, because I was under the impression that he didn't have any contact with anybody except E. But he was doing classes teaching them how to do skincare. And I know some people say, well, yeah, because they were doing massages. And so, you know, you're doing facials. And I don't, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why are you teaching skincare? Like, when I go for a massage, it was never for a facial either. So I'm still just like, but I understand that being in the files, that he was showing the girl stuff, he knew it was girls there. That's the bottom line. And I haven't looked up to reread his statement that was on Instagram. So I don't know if he was saying, you know, he's been around the girls, but nothing was inappropriate. Because if you are just doing classes, you know, that's not anything inappropriate. And somebody was saying, I'm seeing if they're like the same place. And somebody was saying like, okay, so every name that's in there means that they did something wrong or that they knew. And that's what I don't know. I don't know. And Reese Waters did a post here on YouTube and he has said, okay, well, since they blew that up, where are all the pedos now? Like, where's the new trafficking ring at? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I hadn't thought about that. Like, that kind of behavior doesn't stop. It'll just be under a new person, a different name, different locations. And so then I was like, yeah, who's doing that now? It just... This side is looking closer to the brow. So I did not add more shadow on this brush. So it's just, y'all, it's just far and wide. And that was a good question. Like, where's the ring at now? Because we know that type of stuff continues to go on. So just because that blew up doesn't mean it ain't happening somewhere else. And I'm like, that's a good ass question. I'm trying to, let me do my lip and then I'll think about what I'm going to do on my face. I'm thinking of doing a heart. Happy Valentine's Day we celebrate. Today is the 14th. You're not seeing this on the 14th, of course, and you know that because of whatever day that you're seeing it. But I'm thinking of doing like a black heart on my face. I don't have any stencils over here. When I draw hearts, y'all, they're for shit. Like, it's just like, girl, what is that? But I do just want to do something more than just this. Even though I love this. I really do. Caviar. And I remember saying I wanted to get some more of these when I used up some of the lip liners that I have, like in different colors. And I'm just like... My lips are naturally crooked. doing a dark lip accentuates that it's crooked. So if it's looking crooked, that's my natural lip shape, because I do line my lip line. And so it's not that, girl, you lined them crooked. I'm following my lip line, which is crooked. I love a black lip. Oh. So this could just be it, but y'all, this is just super simple for me. And y'all know I want to do more. I do like this very extremely subtle there, not there cheek situation. Like, I think it does suit this eye look very well. So the lip liner was Caviar. This is called Caviar. And I wonder why they named this Black Mirror, unless they didn't come out with the name Caviar for the blacks until later. You know what I'm saying? And they do have a black fluid line, but the fluid lines, I know I say it often, are designed to be eyeliners. The paint pots are formulated to be shadow bases, but you can use them for both. And so that's why I didn't get the black fluid line, and that's why I didn't get the brown paint pot, because we have fluid line and brown. Shade is dipped down. So I usually go dip down is a brown, because I just feel like I need to sing it like I just did. So that's why I didn't feel the need to get this in the fluid line or the brown one in the paint pot, because I do use them for both interchangeably. I want to put this on, and I'm hoping it doesn't change how it looks. If it does, just put more black on top. And you notice when he put it like right here. I like it. We're going to leave it just like that. Good choice, Dion. Mascara. Thank you, y'all, for being here. I appreciate your presence. I'm looking at the time like, oh yeah, we're almost done. We got to open that box. And we're going to do swatches. So this is like a 2-in-1 video. And I could do it separate, but then where am I going to plug it in? Because I could do it as a separate video. But then it wouldn't air until like another week. Because I think this video is going to be scheduled maybe for the 18th. I'll put it in this video, and am I going to remember to do timestamps? Damn. We're going to put it in this video. We're just going to go for it. I'll try to remember timestamps. And I should have said in the beginning, I did say it was going to be at the end. And if people skip, you know, they're going to find it anyway. I want to do something else, though, like for real. Let's put a heart on the face. My hearts are for shit, y'all. So do I want to use the pencil first? I am not good at drawing hearts. I think we might just, I don't know, leave it like this. What's the arrow of the arrow look like? You know what? That's a whole lot better than I anticipated. I want to take a, let's just use this brush. This is wider than I want to use, and my, yeah, I'm getting warm. This is a wider brush than I want to use, but we're going to use it. The date for this prompt starts the 15th. So if you're on Instagram, you will see this look. So I am just going straight in, whereas for the brows, we did sideways. I know I got quiet. Yeah, when I do face stuff, sometimes I get really quiet. Yo, I love doing the collabs and posting them on Instagram. Everybody is so freaking supportive. I think it's Stars and Glitter or Glitter and Stars. And I mentioned her before, and I will try to remember to put her down below. And I was introduced to her through the Creative Art with Her collab. Y'all, she does really amazing looks. I know I spoke about her before. She reposts some of my collab looks. And that's something I never even thought to even do before. So I'm like, I need to start doing that. Because I just post, it just get off. Like, but she is hella supportive. And even that yellow look, she reposted that one. So I need to really start doing that. Because like the people that I'm telling y'all about, you know, I'm telling y'all here on YouTube. And so it may be more effective just reposting their stuff on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like there's a lot of crossover between who watches my Instagram and watch my YouTube. And so that might be, I think that's what I need to do, is just start reposting. And I don't think I've ever reposted. So that'll be a new thing for me. And I'm sure it's easy. I don't think these are lined up. Do I want to do a line? I say just before I do the line. Yep, this is a look. Oh, look, I'm glistening. I'm sweating. Like, I am hot. So this is the look. So we did just a little something extra because I really was struggling because I did not just want to do just the black look. So we're going to do our pictures now because we're going to do swatches on my forehead. I could have used this as a base, but we already had used that other one. So let's do our pictures. And holding up the palette. Pointing at the one shadow we used. I feel like I'm looking somewhere weird. Probably was. All right, y'all, we're going to get into this box. I'm excited. I am excited. I am excited. And I do remember I talked about it a couple times. I mentioned it, y'all. Straight from the lab. The invoice is in here. And that's what I looked at first, because I'm like, okay, this is a small box, and this looks like a small package. So I was like, what is it? And then I thought about the 001 gold thing, and I'm like, but I really haven't mentioned that, so that's not it. So I'm like, let me look at the invoice. And then I was like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Yeah, they did. I was just like... And so, yeah, I did. I looked at it and I wrapped it back up. It has a 12-month PAO, so it will get a label put on it tonight. Yeah, I'm dropping stuff. Y'all, this is tearing upward, and because it's tearing upward, you see it's starting to crease and decrease. And you know it's from the tears, because, wait, is this side creasing too? This side is not tearing. Is that creasing too? I know this definitely is, because I can see it in the inner corner. I don't know if you can or not, but don't be looking at my nose. To stop showing us your nose. I'm doing this to see if y'all can see the creasing in the crease. But, and that is a creamy shadow though, y'all. Y'all know I'm going to keep that packaging material. You already know that. It's a lot of it. It's long. And then it's in here. I was like, what? Y'all know what this is. And y'all know I'm keeping this too, because I'll be sending stuff places. And me, so excited, I was like trying to open the palette. And I'm like, girl, it's in the box. I really was. I was like, how I get it open? And then I'm like, girl, slow down. Like, seriously. I was like, how do you get the palette open? Dion, it's in the box. So I opened the box. Dead ass, I was like trying to open it from inside the box. But y'all, I was just... Thank you. I'm not saying names on purpose. Thank you. And you see my face again. And I took a picture of my face when I opened it. I'm like, this is my face right now. Oh my gosh. People have said it is small, and it is. And I know, why is there, but what? Okay. I'm wiping my finger off, and all it's doing is smearing it. I could have had my rice cooking in a rice cooker. And people have said it is small, and it is. I mean, you see my hand, so it is small. That's okay, right? It is nice packaging. I did say 12-month PAO. Some of these shades we already know are pre-existing shades. Pink Venus. I want to say Nude Nirvana. Aquamarine Allure. Sounds familiar. Nor Nebula sounds familiar. And I think some of these are the shades from some of her quints. Platinum Bronze sounds familiar to me. And I could just be tripping, because I know I'll be tripping. But let's look at this. And I know this has been controversial, not in the way of the e-files or administration trying to take over other countries or territories, but they were like, the formula isn't the same, they don't shine as brightly, da, da, da. And y'all know this is definitely from one of them quints, because I remember seeing that shade, and that one is Nor Nebula, and I remember liking it too. Yeah, and this one looks familiar too. This one is your Aquamarine Allure. So yeah, all of these are not new shades. And I do remember saying specifically that for the price they wanted, like, no, I wouldn't get it. But for the 40% off, it brought it down to like $50 and some change. And I'm like, I would get it for that. And definitely if I saw it for like $19.99 at TJ Maxx or Marshalls or somewhere, excuse me for stammering, that I would get it. But y'all, it is pretty. And it's all metallic. This one looks like it wants to be a matte. This one kind of looks like it wants to, but then it also looks like it has sparkles in it. This shade right here. This one. But this one is definitely a matte. But I do think this is supposed to be. But we're going to swatch it and see what they look like on my forehead. I can say this is very pretty. And I can see me using this just if I want a pop of color somewhere, even if it's subtle. Excuse me for the, this is pretty. That purple is, that is not Bronze Aura. What's the one? They have this, no. They have this, that has to be Cosmic Orchid. So either I'm reading it wrong or, no, because I do know, okay, yeah, I was reading it wrong. This is, what did I just say it was? Cosmic Orchid. That is pretty. We'll see if it shows up like that on the lid. But we're going to swatch these. I'm not even going to say the shade names because I do feel like I'll just keep getting mixed up. And this is, of course, the Gilded Nirvana Mega Eyeshadow Palette. The most recent thing. This is really pretty. Thank you so much. You see my face, and y'all know I'm not a stan for that, but pretty is pretty. You can't deny it. So we're going to take that top shade. Do I want to, I don't know, because I don't know if they're going to be flaky. I have heard there's a lot of fallout with these. and that you have to use your finger. No, I use sponge tip applicators. And for me, the sponge tip applicators do mimic a finger application. And so if you're like me and you don't like to use your finger for makeup, and it's because I'm messy and I'll forget and be like, oh, okay, why do I have all this color on my clothes or whatever I touched? So that's that. That's the dual chrome. When I got to here, I see gold right here and pink right here. Yeah, you see it. These are 2 different colors. I did not know that. That was this first shade. Excuse me for the glare. That was that shade. Oh, that's nice. Some people love this palette. Some people are ambivalent about it. Some people are just like, you know, what is this trash? It all comes down to preference, period. Or as Kay would say, period. Because that is what it is. It just comes down to preference. And then some people are comparing it to previous motherships and quints, and they're like, oh, what doesn't shine like that? Everything doesn't have to be shining from the moon. You know what I'm saying? And that's about preference too, because y'all know I don't live for the shimmer, shimmer, shine, shine. But when I put on the shadow and it's bold, I'm like, oh, damn. Like, that's bright. You know what I'm saying? This looks like a dual chrome too, because here I'm seeing purple, here I'm seeing blue. That's this second shade. And looking at it now, as I'm turning it, this shade, it does, I don't want to keep glaring you, but yeah, looking at it now, like as I'm moving the hand around, the palette around, it is showing different. So we're going to take that bronzy shade that's next to it, or red shade, or whatever shade. What did somebody say last night? I forget what color they were saying. I'm like, I don't know what color that is. Because I'm not good at describing colors. And then they were naming different plants or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know what that looks like. That is pretty. That is Cherry Noir. For me, that sounds familiar as well. That is pretty. I'm glad I remembered to take pictures before I started doing this, because I just had a thought, like, did I take pictures of this look? Yo, I get so excited. I do stuff, and then I'm just like, did I do it? This is that corner shade. That's pretty. So it's just preference. Like, as far as, you know, your formula, the colors. This has got to be lighting, because it does not look like this at all. Somebody tried to compare this to Gigabyte. I will say this. In my mind, there is no dupe for Gigabyte from, I think it was Subversive. Because I tried to dupe it. And even layering colors, I'm like, it ain't no dupe for that. Like, it just is not. This is pretty. So this is a dual chrome. This is a dual chrome. This looks like, yeah, when I turn, but I think it's just lighting, because in the pan, it is not, that's this shade. In the pan, like, it's not shifting any other kind of way, but then neither is this one and neither is this one. I just started feeling nauseous. I think that's the thing sometimes. When I'm hungry, I start feeling nauseous. It's so freaking weird. I'm weird. All right, this middle shade, the middle row, the first shade. This is nice too. This is similar to this one, but just on a lighter tone. Yeah, just lighter. I'm going to take that purple that's next to it, the purple shimmer. Y'all, I feel nauseous. What did I have? I had Bolt House Farms, and that was it. And I was going to eat before I came here. Your priorities, right? That's pretty. It's pretty. So people were like, do your face first, yada yada. This I do believe is a dual chrome. This one is creamy. This one right here, and you can see the brush stroke in it. This is creamy. Let's do this. And that's the formula in the quints that I liked, was that creamy formula, and they worked easy. They weren't messy. That is pretty. That is pretty. And then the one on the end, which is a matte, but it looks like it has some metallics. Or, well, not that. It looks like it has sparkles in it. And even swatching it, like on here, it's looking like it's not matte. Are the sparkles showing up? No. And that is nice. But here we are again, right? When we talk about the motherships. This tone, and where's the other one that's supposed to be matte? And this one. this tone, and this is dark, a little deeper in person. This tone and this tone, like when she was, well, not her herself, but the brand was going through that purple. No, it wasn't in purple, that pink phase. It was like the same like color story. If you want something easy monochromatic, this one, and this one. Because people tend to just go monochromatic, even if the palette ain't monochromatic, they find a way. And this is this one down here. I'm trying not to glare you. It is darker in person. It's looking really pink on your end, and that's because I got all these friggin' lights. But yeah, this is a light pink. It's a light pink. Yep. Yupper. Can't say there's anything else. The one next to that's creamy too. Look at that. Ooh. All right, I'm pressing it back in. Pressing it back in. So I don't know how to explain. So I am like sweeping over with the sponge tip and then sweeping back in the opposite direction just to keep it all going towards the center and not just have it like swooshing out of the pan. This is creamier than the other one that I said was creamy. Woo, good grief, Charlie Brown. And this is this shade. But I do remember liking the formula of her quints. And a lot of people complained about it because they wanted the old school celestial shades. And I'm like, well, you knew it wasn't going to be in the mega motherships. And you knew it wasn't going to be in the quints. But this formula I really did like. And so people that was complaining, look, I keep saying it, it's preference. But I found that I wasn't using the quints. And the same with Natasha's quints. Even the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, this is my vibe, this is pretty. I just don't reach for quints. And I think because I usually do, except for like today, right? I usually do sometimes 4 to 6 shades on my lid. And so that's already used up in the quint. These two are definitely from one of the quints, for sure. And I remember really liking those shades. So this is really, thank you so much. Like for real. And this is, ooh, yeah, this one is moving how the previous shadow moved. And so I'm pressing one way and then pressing the other way and then pressing in the middle. But yeah, this is the formula that I liked. And so when you're watching videos and people are complaining, listen to the reason that they're saying what they're saying. Because if they're like, oh, I don't like this formula because it's creamy, it's too creamy. If you like creamy shades, you're going to like it. And so to me, the why is always important. If somebody likes something or not, the why is important. Why do you not like it? Why do you like it? You know what I mean? Because it really is just preference. And so some people, they just get their panties in a wad. And I'm just like, look, it's just makeup. Like, just calm down. This one is creamy as well. When I first saw this palette, I'm like, I know those two shades. Those two bottom shades for sure. And Cherry Noir as well. Because they're darker shades. I'm going to remember the darker shades from the quints, right? And so this is the lead. Ooh. Is it black? Is it purple? Is this the right side? Yeah. Y'all. This is Noir Nebula. I know I keep saying it, but thank you. I mean, so I have another sneaky ass troll. And the thing is like, when you know somebody so well, it's just like, damn. Because they heard me talk about it. And they knew I wasn't buying it. You know what I'm saying? And they got it and had it sent straight to me from the lab. And I'm just looking at it like, thank you so much. And I do like the color story. This one will just fade off into nothing, or I use it to buff out. This one, that'll be a nice, maybe lower lash line, maybe, I don't know. But like this is a pretty palette. This is a pretty palette. You can't deny it. You know, whether this is your formula that you like or not, whether you think it's overpriced or not, it's a pretty formula. Like I mean, if you say it's not, I'm going to think you're a liar. But also that goes to a preference. If you prefer like all dark looks, all smoky looks, then yeah, you're going to be like, yeah. But you still can't deny it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty, but it's not my vibe, would be what I would accept if somebody said. This is a pretty ass palette. And look how creamy though. Like you see these, And that's the Quint formula that I really enjoyed. Because y'all know I don't like flaky shit. I don't like flaky formulas and all of that. I'm just... I don't even know what to say. I'm just... Thank you. I know I keep saying it. I know I keep saying it, but thank you. When people really know you, it's just like, and they do things, and it's like, oh damn, like they really do know me. It's just, the feeling is just like, wow. Like they see me, they understand me, they know me. And it's just a wonderful feeling. Yeah, we are going to be doing looks with it, of course. But we're going to go for now, y'all. Thank you for bearing with me through the look, through the look for the collab. And yeah, basic. We just did the heart, but you know. And for being here to see the swatches. And if you just skip to the swatches, that's cool too. Let me know what your thoughts are about, first of all, the stuff we talked about while we did the look. But let me know what your thoughts are about this palette, because it is polarizing. Some people are like, oh, it's pretty, it's great. Other people's like, it's pretty, but they're not as sparkly as the others. And some people are like, oh, hell no. And then the people who are stands are like, what do you mean, hell no? And then there's this whole thing. But what are your thoughts on this? I did always think it was pretty. And I did almost buy it using one of my exemptions. And then I thought, girl, you know you like dark smoky stuff. Don't use your exemption for that. But I am excited to have it because it is really pretty. And I said to y'all, it is worth the $50. And if it's at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, I said I would definitely pick it up. So yeah, we're going to go because I'm just... I'm just so excited right now. And I know I keep saying it. I'm going to say it one more time. Then we're going to do the outro and go. Thank you. As always, y'all, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you. And you will see me soon.